Deathstroke number 10, written and art by Rob Liefeld. This is the second part of the Lobo Hunt story, and we open with Lobo in a diner, just eating one of everything off the menu, because why not? Waitress comes up and he's like, I want more pistachio. And he's like, I'll get that. By the way, how are you planning on paying? And he's like, I'm going to let this diner live even after I destroy the rest of this pathetic planet. And then a biker dude shows up and he's like, hey, how about you keep it down over here? Some people are trying to eat. And he throws the biker into like a donut display, eats a couple of the donuts, steals the biker's bike, and makes his way out to wherever it is he's going. There's a narration on here that I don't know if it's diegetic or just the narrator, but it's just saying how much of a badass Lobo is. And then we get Deathstroke. He's just trying to lay out exactly what it is that he's doing, what he's trying to figure out, because apparently now he keeps a journal saying all the stuff in his head. And they went to basically the Supermax like prison facility thing that Lobo broke out of, and Zealot is like, hey, why are we here? Shouldn't we be looking for Lobo? And Deathstroke's like, I gotta research him in order to do my job. I know nothing about this guy. I gotta learn some weak points or something in here, so let's go. So Zealot, Deathstroke, and the Omegas jump down into the thing. It's a bloodbath in there, and Zealot's like, oh, this is a waste of our time. And then they're attacked by this big pink dude with some cybernetic parts, who is apparently a Kundian warrior named Karlak. I'm just going to go ahead and say this fight does nothing. Like, it is the rest of the issue. And the whole thing is that the Omegas and Zealot are all really trying to kill Karlak the Kund. Deathstroke wants to keep him alive for some information. And the Karlak is very upset that Lobo broke out of this place and just abandoned everyone else down there. The fact that no one is left alive, you would think, would mean Karlak could get out now, but apparently not. And I don't explain why. So anyway, Tigor jumps on him, tries to attack him. The other Primus tries to, like, telekinetically do some stuff or whatever it is he's doing. Deathstroke just keeps on jumping in their way, saying, like, no, I need him alive. For God's sakes, let me get some info out of him. And then he goes after Callista, who, as a member of the royal family on her planet, Zealot is sworn to protect. And as soon as he goes after Callista, Zealot just plunges her sword through his chest. And then Deathstroke comes up and is just like, hey, buddy, I can still save your life, but you got to give me some info right now. And his little narration box is like, I can't save his life. He's going to die, but I need some info real bad, so I'm willing to lie about that. Which you think Deathstroke would just be willing to lie about that all the time. But regardless, the Coon guy's basically just like, psh, I ain't telling you nothing. Lobo's probably already reached the star point by now. He's activated the World Breaker, and he will end all life on Earth as you know it. Ack! Oh, sorry, just as he did on his own planet. Ack! And then he dies. And then Deathstroke's like, oh no, I'm dealing with a genocidal maniac. That ups the game a little bit. And then we cut to Colorado, where Lobo was making his way to, and apparently there was a crater that showed up quite some time ago, like it just is many years back, and they're like, nobody's allowed to investigate it, which everyone thinks is kind of weird that a big empty crater is not allowed to be investigated. But apparently it's not empty, because Lobo comes up, he presses a button, and he decloaks his ship, which is just there, and I guess they couldn't move it. But then Lobo's like, it's good to be home. And that's where we leave off. So here's the thing that annoyed me the most, is that way later in this show, we'll get to Tom King's Omega Men, which features these Omegas. And it's so interesting to see how in that series it's creative character designs and gives them each their own thing that, like, differentiates them as people. Whereas in this, they are all the exact same. They are Rob Liefeld looking people that act the same way as all other Rob Liefeld characters. And I'm frustrated so deeply, because Deathstroke, before this arc, was pretty good. It was stupidly fun. It had just big bombastic moments, and it had a good grasp on its characters. But now Deathstroke's like, I don't want to be the bad guy. And I don't like it. I just don't like it. And art's nothing to write home about either. So all in all, 4. It's a 4. And why do I even give it that much? Because it isn't, like, if you can get past the art, which some people can better than not, and you didn't know my characterization problems there, it's not the worst told story. It's doing something. It's, you know, setting up this big threat that Deathstroke for some reason is a part of, but it's just not good.